All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to our sixth and final matchup here in Starladder Season 7, Day 24. We do have Navi yet again facing off against Fnatic. So we've got another good one to round off our day. And looks like Fnatic has most of their roster here. They do have one stand-in, Buktap. My man Victor here, going to be standing in for, who is he standing in for? They've got Fly, No Tail, Trixie, Hani, Era. Yep, that's exactly right. So, Victor, maybe playing a little bit of hard carry action. Could be interesting indeed. But, again, I'm Zyori. Joining me again is Hippie here on Dota Radio. How you feeling, pal?
Oh, I am feeling glorious. It's been a great day of Dota, great matches so far. Just had an excellent match between Rattlesnake International and Navi. And this one, Navi, one of the most fun teams to watch in general. Fnatic, my personal favorite team. There's no way I couldn't be pumped up for this. I'm like bouncing out of my seat here.
Exactly right. Navi versus Fnatic. It's going to be a good one. Now, important to note, before we get too deep into this draft, as it is already underway, as you can see here, I just want to comment on the current standings, because Navi, and I think this encompasses their last win, are now 7-3. I never know when they update the ladder here. So they're either 8-3 or 7-3. At the moment, and Fnatic, they're in trouble. They are, where are they on the chart? There it is. They're 5-6, so it's going to be grim for Fnatic to move on to that top 8 area. So they may do something a little funky with picks. Again, I always just want to reiterate, it does go into the drafting a little bit when you know you're not going to make it to that next round. It's not that to say that the teams aren't trying as hard or they're throwing, but they do have that option to put some variety in. There's a little bit less pressure on knowing you're not going to make it anyway, and that gives you the option. What do they want to try against Navi? All those deep, dark strategies you got tucked away back in your head that they've always wanted to throw against the wall and see if it would work. This is kind of an opportunity to do that. So we'll see how that affects the draft and if Fnatic does something a little bit exciting. But Navi going to go ahead and ban Naga and Outworld Devourer with their first two there, and Fnatic going to go ahead and take Wisp as well as the Bat Rider off the field. Two very standard bans, really 4 standard bans from both sides that will open up for a first pick. Lifestealer for Navi, Darkseer and Abaddon going to be grabbed by Fnatic, and we'll see what Navi want to do with their second pick here. So again, we see a hard carry grabbed in that first picking cluster, though I think Lifestealer first picked a little more common than what we saw last match with Anti-Mage picked up right away.
Yeah, the Anti-Mage did pretty well. Can't deny that. But yeah, Lifestealer, just because of the versatility of how he can lane and where he can end up. I mean, he doesn't lock you in nearly as hard as some other hard carries do. And he's not... There are some strong counter picks to him, but especially with the Naga banned out, which is the main, like, oh god, don't ever pick Lifestealer into a Naga, he just gets ruined. You can still do okay, even if some of the obvious counters, like the Bane, end up coming out. And Navi, you know, obviously you see Fnatic not even interested in picking up the Bane in one of the first 2 picks. So if Navi really doesn't want to deal with it, they don't have to. They can ban it out.
Yep, that's exactly true. Abaddon will work okay as well. We've seen a lot of great Abaddon play. One of the great things about Abaddon is that for some reason teams tend to try and focus him down. We've seen several instances where folks will focus the Abaddon in a team fight first, and then it just spirals out of control because, of course, he'll be able to survive your initial bit of burst. Borrowed Time is going to proc no matter what you do, unless you've got an axe there to cut through him or something like that. But really, in most scenarios, he's not a good target of choice, and Fnatic really like the Abaddon. They bring him in more often than not, and I think we'll probably see Hani playing him. And one of the things that Hani does on Abaddon that's a little different is he gets a blink. He has done it at least a couple times, which it seems weird to me, but we'll see if he does it here in this game. Also important to note, Chen going to be the second pick for Navi, so Chen, Lifestealer, a great duo. Navi going to be able to ban out the Weaver and the Gyrocopter. Fnatic going to ban out the Nyx Assassin, as well as the Puck. So they're going to take Puck off the field here. No mid-Puck action. Poor Puck. We haven't seen him at all today. He hasn't been getting a lot of love.
Yeah, I mean, well, when you're that powerful, I mean, he's not so powerful that generally you could theoretically pick him as one of your first 2, but also because there's some decent available counters to Puck, it's really kind of dangerous. But so, you know, picking him in the first phase, kind of dangerous, but, you know, leaving him open for the second phase, especially against Navi, you know Dendy's Puck does some work.
True that.
And especially also with a Lifestealer. Anyone who's mobile, they want to ban out the Nyx and the Lifestealer, not just because they're really good heroes, or excuse me, the Nyx and the Puck, not just because they're really good heroes, but because they combo very nicely with the Lifestealer.
That's a great thing to point out. And with that said, Nature's Prophet is still on the pool. Navi may be wanting to grab him with their 4th pick here, depending on what Fnatic goes for. Navi going to be able to 3rd pick Rubik. Not a bad choice, given that they have Kuroki. Any team with Kuroki that grabs a Rubik, I'm going to give it the Zyori seal of approval, because I think we've all come to love and appreciate the epic Rubik plays that Kuro can throw out. But Nature's Prophet could actually work with this Navi roster here if they wanted to do that kind of tri-lane with Chen, Rubik, Lifestealer, grab a mid hero, and then grab that Nature's Prophet for the off lane. It's a little more difficult with Chen because he will be in the jungle, clearing out that space where Furion wants to go when the off lane gets rough, but could be possible if they wanted to go for it. We'll see what Fnatic grabs, though. They've got Troll, Abaddon, and Darkseer here to start things off, and they are going to break into that bonus time to decide what they want to do with that 4th pick.
Yeah, I don't really know. And teams are experimenting with Troll because that battle trance is so very, very good. I mean, obviously, Navi is left. Obviously, they locked themselves into their 2 supports, so you could theoretically get an aggressive tri-lane going. Abaddon really lets you he lets you dive very effectively because of the Aphotic Shield. Obviously can tank up a lot of damage from the tower, gets a little bit of extra burst damage, and a lot of good sustain. So if they wanted to go Tri-V-Tri for some reason, they probably could. They just have to worry about the early Chen ganks with the creeps, and that ends up depending basically on how fast he can get a good ganking creep.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting you say that about Abaddon, because I think of him in my head at first thought, oh yeah, he's really defensive. He heals, he does all that stuff, but when you really think about it, his shield, it heals, well, it absorbs damage, but it does damage. His Death Coil can be used to heal or do damage, and at level 2, he can put out 210 damage. That's a lot. I mean, he really does fit into those aggressive tri-lanes, and you can be extra aggressive to dive those towers. A similar flavor to the Treant Protector. At first you think, all right, Living Armor, that's nice and passive, but no, it actually translates into aggression when you're on the field, because it lets you be, well, just more aggressive into those towers. So it's just one of those mental barriers I got to break through, I guess. Visage going to be the 4th pick here for Fnatic to go with their Troll, Abaddon, and Darkseer. So again, I'm kind of curious how they're going to lane this. Probably going to put Troll in the mid, and they're going to want to grab that tri-lane carry with their last pick here. But we'll see what Navi does with
I would
4th.
expect so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you can. I mean, you can definitely put the Troll as your tri-lane carry, and he'll do kind of okay against Lifestealer because not only does he have the options to turn and fight ranged and try to kite him a little bit. He's got the decent slow. He's got the blind for after the Lifestealer rage is over. And Bash is, of course, really, really good against any melee carry because they're stuck fighting you in melee the entire time. And so the chance of getting a Bash is, you know, significantly higher.
Yep.
And also, anytime you get any sort of blind on anyone, ooh, Timbersaw coming out from Navi, that's going to be dangerous.
Indeed it shall. And there's been a few games today where I think Timbersaw would have fit into those rosters so well. And this is one where I definitely second the notion. Now, I feel like I've seen Timbersaw versus Troll Warlord mid, and I'm trying to remember how that plays out, who gets the advantage. Very few heroes really shut down Timbersaw. And with that said, it could also be an off-lane Timbersaw. One of the great things about that pick here for Navi is their 4th choice. They could put Timbersaw mid, or they could throw the curveball here coming up with their final pick. They will have that luxury of last pick of the match, so they can decide whether they want to put Timbersaw mid, or if they want to off-lane him and grab another mid hero to counter whatever it is Fnatic throws their way. Again, if they throw a curveball as well and they don't put Troll mid. But Bounty Hunter going to be the final ban from Fnatic, and Anti-Mage going to be that last ban from Navi.
Navi, being pretty much the only team that still runs a Rubik mid ever, could theoretically still pick a support. I don't think they will. I think they're going to give Kuro the Rubik because his Rubik is legendary. But, oh, no tail Meepo, yes!
Ooh, wow.
Yes! Yes!
Wow. I know there are some people bummed that Twitch chat is not working right now because people have been asking for this since we started Starladder Season 7. I've seen people in chat, all right, no tail Meepo, please, and this is the game. I just got nerd chills over my whole body. I haven't felt that way for a long time. Oh, this is going to be awesome.
Oh my god, I just thought about Battle Trance with Meepo. I've never even considered that.
Oh my god, all those Meepos getting Battle Trance, that is hacks, dude. That's insane.
Shovels, bitch!
Oh my god. That's pretty incredible. Wow, okay. This is exciting. So, how do they lane? This is going to be a tri-lane Meepo? Is that the thing? Or is Meepo going to be mid here? I've yet to cast a game with Meepo, so I'm clueless here, man.
Yeah, the last time they've run Meepo like a couple times in competitive matches, and what they generally do with him, I'm sorry, I love No Tail, I love Fnatic, I'm getting a little quick in my words, I'll try to slow it down a little bit. Basically what they do is they abuse the map mobility that Meepo gives you with Poof. Excuse me. As soon as you have 3 Meepos, you can just be anywhere on the map anytime, and he can farm up really quickly. We know how deadly No Tail can be with that Meepo. We know how deadly No Tail can be in mid. Both of us have had that experience for years before they ever came to Dota.
Oh yeah.
I'm so excited, man. Oh, and yeah, it looks like they're, okay, since No Tail's going to be going mid, they're going to put Hani on the Warlord carry, and so their stand-in is actually going to be playing the support Visage.
Yep. Yep, Victor there, Booktop. And so interesting, the last pick from Navi that we didn't mention, we're too busy smacking it there to Meepo. Dendi going to be playing Shadow Fiend here, so they do indeed do that curveball. They are going to off-lane the Timbersaw, and Dendi going to be playing a Shadow Fiend mid going up against No Tail's Meepo.
Maybe it is going to be a tri-lane Meepo.
Oh,
It is going to be a tri-lane Meepo. Curveballs all over the place.
Whoa, I didn't know we were watching baseball. This is awesome. This is awesome sauce. So let's take a look and introduce our rosters here. The teams that really need no introduction, but we're going to do it nonetheless. Fnatic's No Tail going to be playing the mighty Meepo, as you so succinctly put it, my friend. Shovels, bitch. Coming your way. Supporting him in the bottom lane will be Fly, playing on the Abaddon. They are going to have a stand-in here for Era. Booktop, a.k.a. Victor, going to be playing on the Visage. Trixie going to be playing on the Darkseer. Looks like he will be headed to that off lane there. Going to be headed top. And Hani going to be solo mid on that Troll Warlord. On our Dire side, Team Navi, we're going to have Fnatic on the Timbersaw. Looks like he will be solo down in that long lane. Kuroki, no doubt, going to be the one playing on the Rubik here right now, starting near that bottom rune spawn, but no doubt will be heading his way up to the top lane. Havos going to be the carry player here. Going to be on the Life Stealer, headed to that top lane as well to pick up some free farm joy. Puppy going to be playing on his Chen, starting off in the Radiant Jungle. And the one person we did not introduce, the man who really needs no introduction, Dendi himself, going to be playing on Shadow Fiend. Again, going up against the Troll Warlord. So, yeah, tri-lane Meepo. This is going to be kind of interesting. Meepo, Visage, and Abaddon. That's a lot of kill potential there. There's a lot of damage that these two supports can put out, and already going to throw down some counter ward action, and it looks like Fly going to be able to get himself a fancy new Observer ward kill there, as he does counter what came down. So, alright, Troll Warlord versus Shadow Fiend mid, something else we need to kind of digest here a little bit. What are your thoughts? Dendi or Hani, who's got the upper hand?
I think it depends wholly on how well Hani does with these denies early against Dendi. The longer he can keep Dendi from kind of snowballing up that damage from the Necromastery, the better he's going to do. But as soon as Dendi gets a couple levels in his Shadow Rays, as soon as he starts getting some last hits, I really think it's going to go in favor of the Shadow Fiend. Unless we get some ganks. We have to remember that one of the great weaknesses of Shadow Fiend is how incredibly squishy and easy to gank he is. And already Hani going man mode. I think he's going to get the kill.
Oh my god, Dendi, is he going to go down? He's going to use a Solve. That's going to keep him alive for a moment, but it's not going to be enough. Hani going to be able to get the first blood, a solo kill on Dendi, microing the ranged as well as the melee whirling axes right there. Dendi with a big misplay, just underestimating the damage that the Troll Warlord can put out early on. That's going to be absolutely huge. Dendi going to go back down to 3 souls. Of course, Hani now going to be level 3. He's going to have a huge advantage. Oh, man. Dendi, what are you doing, my friend? That's going to be off to a rough start. Obviously, getting that bonus gold in the mid lane as well. Things going to start to sway in favor of Fnatic, at least in the early stage. He's going to get an early bottle. The Boots of Speed going to be in the bank, and will be coming next time when he crows that bottle. So, off to one hell of a start. Down in the bottom lane here, Fnatic may find himself in a little bit of trouble as well. That Timbersaw, only level 2, does have a point in reactive armor as well as the Timber Chain. Very smart build to start things off. He's just microing around. But this is really great for Fnatic. We see both Victor and Fly pushing him out of the lane, and that's just opening up for complete free farm for No Tail down here. Meepo already 12-3. He's in great shape. I'm sure no complaints coming out of No Tail right now. And up in the top lane, Havost is 8-1 at the moment, so not getting quite as good farm as Trixie. Well, he's doing okay. He is level 3 on that Darkseer, been able to pick up a couple of creep kills himself. He is 10-0, so not denying much from that Life Stealer, but at least having a better time than his off-lane Timbersaw kind of opponent there in this match.
Yeah, the big thing about a lot of what Timbersaw does, I mean, when he's dealing with supports, it's all that burst damage you can put out, obviously. Makes it very dangerous for supports to come in, harass him out of lane, put pressure on them. But with the Abaddon in the jungle, I mean, if he chases the Visage into the jungle and tries to fight him, Abaddon shield, Abaddon heal, he has to back up. So Fnatic can't be nearly as aggressive as he usually want to be, just kind of bursting people down, going crazy, because if the Abaddon is anywhere nearby, there's just going to be tons and tons of that damage negated, which is a big, big deal. And it's letting the... It's also very nice that the Abaddon and the Visage are staying mostly out of lane, because a big deal with a tri-lane Meepo is that Meepo needs levels. He needs to hit that level 6 as quickly as is humanly possible, get that extra Meepo so that he can start farming the jungle, poofing things down, being in 2 places at once, getting a crap load of extra experience through that. So the fact that they're able to kind of sit in the jungle and still be kind of safe without the Timbersaw just coming and killing them is a huge deal.
Yeah, that really is a good thing to point out. Part of the reason we were both kind of surprised to see the troll in the mid, because Meepo's a hero. He wants to hit 6 as quickly as possible, and that does, of course, mean mid is the place to be on that front. But you're right, they're doing a great job giving him a lot of solo experience here. And, yeah, you're exactly right. So let's see up in the top lane. I thought Trixie was going to get engaged on. KuroKy was coming around the backside, but alas, didn't find the opportunity. But let's check back on the mid lane here. We are going to see Dendi now 16-6 against the 18-4 troll. So Dendi has been able to make some recovery for him here. He's back up to 20 souls. He does have level 2 Necro Mastery here. So Dendi has definitely made some recovery, which is great to see, but Hani still going to have that advantage. Dendi is crowing that bottle, I believe. Yep, it is going to be empty. Still does not have Boots of Speed, though, and that's going to be a huge advantage in favor of Hani, who does have bottle and Boots of Speed here, as well as a Magic Wand nice and early on. That rune going to be grabbed. That's going to be a haste rune on the Abaddon. Uh-oh, Fnatic going to be in trouble. One more hit or two ought to do it. He's going to get a, wow, a nice Timber Chain up to that high ground. Oh, Fly going to have the vision. He's going to be able to finish him off with the Death Coil. Very nicely played right there. That's now going to set it 2-0 in favor of Fnatic here as we approach that 4.5-minute mark.
That ward is so huge. Click on that ward right by the cliff. See where it's giving vision. See how he just barely was there. Fnatic thought he was safe. Thought he could just chain up there. He's just at the edge of that ward vision. Look at the blood splatter. It's practically on the outside. What? Oh, God, that was beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful warding. Nice usage.
Really was.
It's such a good chase.
It doesn't get much closer than that. Those are the kind of plays that just make you kind of go, oh, God, that felt funny. I haven't felt that way in a long time. So, again, that's going to open up even more free farm potential here for N0tail. He is now 27-9, continuing to farm away. Again, racking up all that solo experience. He is level 5. He is number 3 on the hero level chart. Number 1 for heroes that aren't in the mid lane. Well, actually, I take that back. We're going to see Hvost hit level 6 up in the top lane. But so he's doing just fine. Looks like Hvost may be gearing up for a Hand of Midas here on that Lifestealer. He did go for the Gloves of Haste first, so we've talked about this quite a bit. Whoa, in the mid lane. Sorry, I did miss that one. There's going to be a rotation from Trixie as well as Fly, and they're going to be able to finish off the Dendi. My apologies, folks. I did not think that was going to be coming. And that's going to make it 3-0 here at the 6-minute mark. KuroKy and Puppey going to come in. They want revenge. Hani going to fall. They're going to get it. That's going to be 1-3 now as we're about to approach that 6-minute mark. KuroKy going to walk away with that last hit. Compliments of the Fade Bolts, but very nicely done nonetheless. They do get a counter kill really on both sides. And N0tail so close to level 6. The micro madness will begin.
That's interesting that N0tail's actually chosen to go to an Orb of Venom despite having Geostrike just to get that extra initial slow. So that he's got, on the first hit, it's, you know, obviously it's only going to build up to 32%, which isn't really that much bigger than the 20% with the single Geostrike, and the Orb of Venom won't propagate to his other Meepos once they start spawning.
Okay.
But on that initial hit, it means he's got a 17% slow instead of a 5%, meaning it's going to be easier for him to catch up with multiple Meepos. It's going to be easier for him to chase people down and not need, you know, multiple hits to actually get a real slow on them. So that tells me, at least, that N0tail wants to play a very aggressive sort of Meepo in this early game and get a lot of kills. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's what that Orb of Venom is for me.
I would agree with you, and I think some of that, I mean, he grabbed that Orb of Venom early on, but here it is. Hvost in the top lane. He's going to get a nice early Hand of Midas, somewhere about that 6-minute mark, so not the fastest Hand of Midas we've ever seen, but again, we've talked about this quite a bit before we saw that engage in the mid lane between the different style of play you can do with Lifestealer, where he can take that mid-game presence and, uh-oh, we're going to hold that thought again. Is Dendi going to be in trouble? Whirling Axe is going to come out. Beautiful Centaur Stun from Puppey, going to keep Dendi alive for now. Will they be able to turn it? There's support coming this way for Fnatic. Right now, they've got Abaddon as well as the Darkseer here, and Meepo going to venture his way over with his first little Meepo buddy there. And N0tail just setting up an opportunity to be able to make it rain all over Dendi if he ventures too far forward, but not going to find that opportunity he was looking for. So anyway, we've talked about that versatility between Lifestealer, where he can go that early farming build, which is the early Hand of Midas, or he can just go for a fast Drum of Endurance and then go straight into that Armlet, and it's a great mid-game hero. You know, he doesn't have to be that late-game hard carry, and I think that play from N0tail to go ahead and grab that early Orb of Venom going to work out very nicely in contrast you know, to what Hvost is going to be doing, because he's not going to bring a lot to the table for a little while here until that Hand of Midas starts to pay off. So it could, again, a little bit of a gamble. We've seen Hand of Midas as a little bit of a double-edged sword in the past couple days of Starladder Season 7, where some teams, they get the Hand of Midas, and you need time. That's really the big thing you need for that item. It's a very powerful item, but it hinges on the fact that your team will have time for it to pay off. So an interesting choice nonetheless. Haste Rune going to spawn in the top lane here at the 8-minute mark. KuroKy going to come in. He's going to pick it up. Now Dendy going to come in as well. They may try to make something happen here. Kuroki going to chase forward. Nope, he's going to retreat. So I thought they were going to try and do the old combo there with Telekinesis and Shadow Rays, but they will disengage. Still 3-1 here. Fnatic leading the way at the 8.5-minute mark, but actually, look at that gold graph as well as the experience graph. Navi getting much better farm right now. They're leading by about 1,200 gold, somewhere about 3,000 experience as well. Much larger lead than I would have thought, given they're down 3-1.
Yeah, we might have an engagement coming in on Fnatic right here. No-Tail's got a lot of slows. No, he's just going to Timber Chain himself away. No big deal right there. That 4-second cooldown Timber Chain, he was in plenty of range to get one of those trees. But, oh, smoke rotation coming in, though.
Uh-oh, that could be a problem down in the bottom, but in the mid lane, Dendy going to be in some trouble here. Down he goes. Abaddon going to be able to grab that kill. Talk about aggression. He threw that shield on, but No-Tail going to be in an equally rough situation. He's going to get taken out as that smoke rotation comes. Chen going to be able to grab that last hit, but he was joined by Rubik as well as the Timbersaw. That Chakram doing way more damage than that poor little Meepo could handle. But in the mid lane, man, just an easy kill right there. The Aphotic Shield on the Trill Warlord. He hops forward. Whirling Axes uses the Battle Trance. There's nothing the Shadow Fiend can do. He can't right click because he's got 60% chance to miss, and he can't tank all the damage. So just working out so nicely. That Abaddon pick really playing well here. But uh-oh, Kuroki gonna port to the mid lane to try and delay this push. What was he thinking? Kuroki gonna fall. That's gonna port into a 1v3. Gonna be another easy kill coming out for Fnatic here. Darkseer gonna be able to grab that last hit. Compliments of the Ion Shell. But look at this. The Troll Warlord with a Photic Shield and Ion Shell. He's buffed out of his mind. And he is going crazy indeed. Navi will be able to grab the first tower kill of the match. They get that tier 1 in the bottom lane, but it's not over in the mid. Hani gonna go back in as Dendy comes back. Dendy gonna be in trouble. Dendy gonna fall again. Hani destroying him in the mid lane now. He's gonna be 2-1 and 3. Dendy 4-1. So uncharacteristic of the Navi mid player. Oh no, this is so bad for Navi, but they do grab a kill down in the bottom lane. They're able to finish off the Visage for Victor. Gonna get caught off guard, but I don't know. Navi able to get some kills about the map. I think they may still have a lead here. Yeah, about 2,200 gold, 2,200 experience, but Dendy getting completely shut down right now. He's got no items. He's got Boots of Speed, Bottle, Wraith Band, Magic Stick, 1,100 gold in the bank, but Dendy is falling far behind already in this match.
So you remember what I said about how No-Tail really loves to abuse map mobility on his Meepos? Look at his first item right now.
Boots of Travel. Orb of Venom into Boots of Travel. I love it. Oh, God.
And not only that, remember that the Boots of Travel have a separate cooldown for each Meepo, so that you can actually use them to port around and then just poof yourself around. The more Meepos you get, the more you can just be literally everywhere at once. You turn into like some bastardized split version of Tinker who can teleport anywhere, anytime.
Jesus, No-Tail is going to be getting out of control here. Now, the one big saving grace for Navi, and honestly probably the reason they're able to hold on to this gold experience advantage, is because of Fabost. Right now, he is completely solo in the top lane. He's got his music on, he's got those iPod headphones in, and he's just farming away. He's having fun by himself, killing those creeps, and oh no, Fnatic going to miss the Timber Chain. He's got a double damage on. We're going to hold that thought about Fabost, because there's going to be an engage down here in the bottom lane. Puppy going to be in trouble, going to burn the Hand of God, but he's going to go down. That's going to be another easy kill for Fnatic. Timbersaw, no choice but to get the hell out of there as he does head for the hills. And where did he make it to? Oh, he ported back. There you go. So he is going to survive. That's going to make it 7-3 here now at the 12-minute mark. Fnatic slowly starting to take control of this game. Again, the only thing for Navi that is going really, really well is Fabost in the top lane. He's at just about 6k net worth here at the 12-minute mark. He's got the Drums of Endurance to go with those phase boots and the early Hand of Midas. He is level 11 as well. I think Fnatic would be well advised to try and shut down this Lifestealer a little bit. He's level 11. The next highest level is 9, which is the, well, there's 4 level 9s, but still, he's 2 levels ahead of everyone else. That's a big advantage. That Lifestealer will be a force to be reckoned with as this game continues.
Absolutely, although depending on how No-Tail wants to micro his Meepos, you can get so much experience. The more Meepos you have, obviously, Meepos gain experience separately, so if they're in multiple places, you can be gaining experience in several places at once on all Meepos. So, Fnatic might be in trouble. He got that net real quick. Here comes Hani, getting the slow off. The Mist Coil plus the nukes coming out from Hani. Gonna bring Fnatic down very easily without giving him a chance to get another Timber Chain off, and without a lot of trees to go to in the first place.
Yep, and we saw it right there. He tried to engage on one of the weak Meepos. He did a lot of damage. No-Tail used those boots to travel out. That Meepo survived, and then the rest of the team came in and finished off the Timbersaw. It's a lot to handle. Oh, man. It's just... this is awesome to see, man. I'm stumbling over words because I'm just in awe. You know, I feel like one of those little kids that sees the Power Rangers for the first time in the mall. You're just like, it's the Red Ranger. I had all these things I wanted to ask him, and now I just can't remember because this is so amazing. I'm overwhelmed. And right now, Navi, they know they need to do something. They're going to move into the Roche pit, and uh-oh, is it going to get scouted? It looks like the Visage Familiars are going to move by. Roshan falling pretty quickly right here. They are going to buy a little bit of time as they do stun. Fnatic not going to overcommit, though. They're not going to move into the pit, and Roshan will fall. Aegis going to go to the inventory of the Lifestealer, going to grab a familiar kill as well for another nice 100 gold bounty, and he's just going to be well on his way to that armlet. Has the Helm of Iron Will already. So again, Fnatic playing very well. They've been so active about this map, but they seem to just be ignoring Havost, and the Gold League continues to go in the favor of Navi, despite Fnatic leading 8-3 here at the 14-minute mark. Now we'll see Navi group up about the mid lane. They do have a 1 tower advantage, and they're about to make it too. This tier 1 falling very, very quickly here, and it's going to go down. That's going to be it. No defense from Fnatic. And what will Navi do next? They are going to press forward here, looking for an opportunity to possibly catch someone, and there will be some defense posed here. Up in the top lane, we do see No Tail, as well as Hani pressuring that tier 1 tower. The Troll ultimate going to be used. They are going to be able to flash push that tower very, very quickly indeed. And Navi still grouped up in the mid lane. I think they're feeling the pressure here, and they know that they want to make something happen. They've got a nice lead, but they still want to put the pressure on wherever they can, and they're going to stay grouped up about the mid lane here. They're posturing around that tier 2 tower right down below the Radiant Ancients, and here it is. They're going to go straight in. Up in the top lane, No Tail as well as Hani still pressuring that tier 2 tower as well. Radiant structure is going to be fortified. The tier 2 in the mid going to stay alive with about 1,000 hit points, and up in the top, they're taking it down fast. The great thing about that battle trance is you can flash push towers. Troll is level 2. He does have the level 2, or he is level 12, does have the level 2 ulti, but uh-oh, now Hani going to be in some trouble. He's going to try to micro into the trees there. Going to use the Whirling Axes. It's not going to be enough. Both Havos as well as Fnatic going to be able to corner him, and he is going to go down. So that will be a free kill in favor of Navi, but it does end up being a 1-for-1 tower exchange, and I think all in all, Fnatic not going to be too disappointed with that. They do need to get some tower kills on the board. That will take the tower count now 2-1 in favor of Navi.
Yeah, No Tail picks up his blink, but I really think that despite the whole 8-4 kill advantage thing, and we've been looking at the graphs, we've been looking at the all game, Navi has a lot less pressure on them to make things happen in the early game. Because of the Lifestealer, because of the Shadow Fiend, they're going to have a better late game than Meepo Troll. I mean, Meepo Troll, that's going to be frightening. I have never seen the amount of damage that you can put out with that kind of Meepo. And you got to remember also that Geostrike will slow the Lifestealer through his magic immunity, which is a pretty significant thing. So it'll help people kite. It'll help keep him close enough if they're trying to chase him down, prevent him from escaping. But at the same time, you still have to worry about Lifestealer is just a harder carry than anything Fnatic really has. Unless Troll gets a lot of lucky bashes and bashes him just out of control. Right. He goes super late game with the attack speed. Well, it seems the Lifestealer is going to be really powerful.
My read on it is Navi, I think they know they're ahead. Again, we keep looking at this graph out of 5,000 gold, 5,000 experience advantage, and I think they know they've got the lead right now. They want to keep it up, but honestly, this is kind of unprecedented. Meepo with a Troll Warlord. I think Navi might be saying, hey, you know what? That's pretty scary. I did the math on that, and that's a lot of damage they're going to be able to put out. And they know that golden ticket is going to be before there are too many Meepos on the field. Now No Tail is going to be level 11, so that's going to add another one. There are going to be 3 Meepos total. But I think they're trying to deliver that kind of crippling blow before the Meepos get completely out of control. And here we're going to see Navi engage yet again. Hani going to be in trouble. Down he goes. He's going to be the first to fall. The telekinesis will be enough to finish him off. Now Navi not going to get too hyper-aggressive here. They're going to push up against this tier 1 tower in the top lane. Victor gonna port in. Oh no, he's gonna get stunned by the centaurs. The timber chain gonna come, and that's gonna be a 2-for-0 exchange. I think Navi gonna be able to grab themselves another tower kill here. Shadow Fiend does have a double damage rune on as well. So yeah, this tier 1 in the top lane is gonna fall. All the while though, again, Meepo is all over the place. He's gonna try and pressure that tier 1 tower down to the bottom lane. Dendi gonna port down, did have the surprise inside as he popped out, and they do repel that push. No Tail gonna focus his attention back up to the top lane. Now Trixie gonna get caught on that Darkseer. Is he gonna fall? Kuroki gonna fall as well. It's gonna be a 1-for-1 up here. The Chakram gonna come out, and oh no, Meepo gonna get killed. 2 buybacks coming out from Fnatic now. That's gonna be the Meepo and the Darkseer back on the field. They want to finish off Puppey. He's got a few hit points to spare. Down he goes. Fly going to come on the Abaddon. That'll be a death coil to the face. Now Fnatic going to have to timber chain away. He's going to try to run. It looks like he will be able to survive. All 5 members of Fnatic, less that of Visage, going to be in the top lane. And I don't know where they're going to go from here. I don't know that they're going to be able to make anything happen as we do see a few of them poured out. But again, I think Navi is saying to themselves, we need to put this aggression on. We don't want to see what happens with a late game Meepo and a Troll. We want to win this before this Meepo gets out of control. Because you're right, they have the lead. They don't need to pressure this hard, and they're doing it anyway. We're going to see Dendi down here. He's got the Shadow Blade now on that Shadow Fiend to go with the Power Treads, the Wraithband, and the Magic Wand. He's going to engage on this Meepo. Is he going to have the damage? Nope, going to be able to make it out. Well played by No-Tail. God, the reaction time on that guy. Insanity. Insanity.
I mean, clutch plays. He has great micro. There's a reason that part of the reason he moved to support, I think, when he made the switch was just that the Chen and the Enchantress, he is one of the best just in terms of like raw micro. He may not be that Ake Chen, that Puppy Chen, but he's still an intensely good player with any of those heroes, and so you can see that reflected in his Meepo play. He has very, very good unit control.
Mm-hmm. That's an understatement, but you're right. He does have insane unit control, and actually, on the net worth chart, it must not be right for Meepo. I know Hani is doing better.
No, it's completely broken.
Than 0 gold, so it just doesn't put the Meepos. I don't know what it's trying to do, but yeah, Meepo definitely ahead of the 400 net worth on the chart here. Oh, that's so unfortunate. But Meepo is going to get taken out. He's going to get caught in the jungle. Dendi actually does have a haste rune on, so that'll be an easy kill for him there. Very unfortunate. Uh-oh, now Fly going to find himself in a bit of a rough situation. He's going to get engaged on by Havos and Dendi. The open wound's going to be used. He will be able to use a Photic Shield to cleanse it. Going to take a good bit of damage here. He is going to micro about. The borrowed time has been used. Another Photic Shield. Trixie going to pour it in. That's going to be the mech. Not going to be enough to keep him alive, though. His dominating streak going to end. Havos going to grab that kill. Now Trixie could be in a little bit of trouble here as well. He's going to re-engage. Going to use that surge forward. Looks like he could be trying to buy some time for his buddies to get in, but nope, he will survive. Havos not going to die for that kill, but again, it's going to be basically going to be a 2-for-0 right there. Navi going to tie it up now 10-10 as we approach the 20-minute mark. That graph continuing to go in their favor. Still about 10,000 gold, somewhere about an 11,000 experience lead for Navi right now. Things starting to get a little bit scary for Fnatic. Again, they might not be able to make it to late game for us to see what happens when you get 5 Meepos and they all have the battle trance on, unfortunately for us. But we'll see. It's definitely not over yet. Meepo now going to have the Ogre Club to go with the Blink Dagger, the Orb of Venom, as well as the Boots of Travel. So he is slowly getting more powerful. That Ogre Club most likely going to be turning into an Og Scepter. I have to guess that's going to be the first core item he's going to want to go for there. But that net worth chart's looking scary. Havost is now at 12k, and that's doubling the highest of Fnatic, who is the troll at 6k. Who knows how high Meepo actually is on that net worth chart, but still, I mean, this Lifestealer is getting out of control, man. He's also 2-0-1, so him not being killed yet in this match is also going to be a problem that Fnatic's going to have to deal with pretty quickly here.
Meepo should be about 5,000-6,000 based on the items he has in his inventory and his gold.
Yeah, so that sounds about right.
So yeah, about half of Havost, which is a big deal. Just this Lifestealer is ridiculous itemization. You know, he went the Midas. It's obviously it's starting to pay off right about now, but he's 201. He's got 161 creeps, so he's doing great on his creep score. Midas Drums Armlet Basher Phase at 21 minutes. That's fantastic for a Lifestealer. And it kind of goes to the fact that Fnatic didn't really have a great lineup for ganking him in the early game. So they, you know, we talk about, oh, they didn't really rotate to shut down the Lifestealer. What are they really going to rotate to shut down the Lifestealer? They don't have a great way to deal with him.
That's really a great point. You look at their roster and you see Darkseer, nope. You can't really rotate the Troll. Visage and Abaddon, I mean, I don't know what they're going to do to shut him down either. That's a really good point. One of the problems I think Fnatic is having right now is the difference in towers, and that's really what's allowing Havos to just get out of control with this farmer. Now, I mean, the Midas, the not being killed definitely are helping, but the tower count right now is 4-1 in favor of Navi, and the biggest problem with this Fnatic roster that I see is they have no anti-push. They have no way to stop the pushing from Navi, and Navi knows it. That's why they're trying to capitalize, but up in the top lane here, going to be some initiation on Puppy. Hani going to go straight in. We're going to see the mech used, the Hand of God going to come out. Now Hani taking a lot of damage. No-Tail going to come in. Puppy going to obliterate. He'll be the first to fall. Now they're going to continue on. No-Tail trying to make it happen against the Rubik. He's going to get telekinesed, but I don't know. Kuroki going to be in some trouble here. He did steal a Photic Shield. Oh no, No-Tail not going to be able to do it. He's going to get taken out by the Rubik, so that is going to be a 1-for-1 in the top lane, but it's not over yet. Trixie going to come forward. He's got an Ion Shell on, not doing any damage, still in a Photic Shield a Photic Shield on the Kuroki. Oh no, Trixie going to way over commit. Oh, a Requiem of Souls in his face. Down he goes. That's going to be a 2-for-1 in favor of Navi. But yeah, the biggest problem I see for Fnatic, they just don't have any way to anti-push. And now Havost, he's going to come down. He's going to get a solo kill on Hani. It's going to be as easy as that. Rage, a couple of right clicks, the open wounds, and down he goes. Now Havost going to be in kind of an odd position here between the mid lane and the bottom lane, but it doesn't matter. Only Abaddon and Visage are alive. Fnatic slowly but surely continuing to fall behind here. Now these graphs looking even worse. Now Navi ahead by about 14k gold, 15k experience. They're going to group up, and I think they will take out this tier 2 tower in the mid lane. Timbersaw now going to use a double damage rune to boot. So that's going to take the tower count now 5-1. Again, that's just making the life of Navi so much worse here.
You know, one of the things Fnatic hasn't had this kind of... Oh, Fnatic getting engaged on. He is going to just safely timber chain himself away. Maybe not. He gets netted again, but there should be... the stun out of the timber chain.
Beautiful. He's going to be able to timber chain again, though, and he's still going to be able to get away. Again, that 4-second cooldown. Still too much to be reckoned with. Uh-oh, Fnatic going to go back in here. Fnatic, he's going to take a lot of damage. Meepo going to get melted. Oh, man. Timbersaw does some damage to those Meepos. All three of them inside that chakram. No way Meepo's going to be able to survive that. Now they're going to set their sights on Havos. They want him. He's going to be able to infest a creep. Havos going to be alive for now, and he will probably pop back out. Indeed, he will, and he'll have about 400 hit points to spare. They're going to go back in. Now Fly on the Abaddon going to fall. That's going to be a Gem of True Sight on the ground. Fnatic going to be able to snatch it up. And, oh, speaking of Fnatic, he's now got a Bloodstone in the inventory of that Timbersaw. He's a little bit scary as well. BKB now in the inventory of Shadow Fiend to go with that Shadow Blade. So, yeah, we're going to see Navi just group up and pressure this tier 3 tower. So, unfortunately for Fnatic, they very well may lose this tier 3 tower here. Trixie with a nice wall, nice vacuum in as well. The Illusion's going to come out to try and start doing some damage, but going to be pretty negligible at this point. Only a level 2 wall, doing everything he can. And that will be enough to hold the base. Fnatic going to keep their tier 3 in the mid alive. How long can they turtle up, though? Again, if only this Visage was a Keeper of the Light or something here, that would make this so much easier for Fnatic. They could turtle up in the base. They could potentially get to that point where the Meepo Troll Warlord combo could, I don't know, overtake Navi's Lifestealer, but do a lot of damage. But unfortunately, again, they just have no way to really repel this pushing power that Navi is putting out. And, oh, wow, Meepo going to get caught. I don't know what happened there, but he's going to fall into the wrath of the Lifestealer.
Yeah, basically, he saw the solo Lifestealer for a second and didn't see the people behind him in the fog, so he blinked on him, thought he had a kill, and got immediately gone on by 3 people, because Kuro was right there, Puppey was right there. It was pretty brutal. Yeah. I think one of the things I really want to mention, it looks like, oh, I don't want to mention it till Fnatic, is maybe he's going to finally go down Hand of God used, tries to Timber Chain away, he's up on the high ground right now. It looks like he is actually going to live. Hani really wants this kill, though. Pops his BKB. I'm not sure that was worth it, because Fnatic just Timber Chains away again. So hard to lock down that Timbersaw. That's half the reason we see him right now. So that not only does he have that amazing damage output, but he's so freaking hard to kill.
That's right. Now Victor going to get engaged on. He's going to be in some trouble here. Lifestealer just going to add another one to the books. Now 5-0-3. Havos having a great game here. He's just going to dive the base. The Roshan did go down while all that was happening. So Havos does have an Aegis as well as an Assault Kuros. Now going to be able to chase down the troll. Meepo going to get obliterated by the Requiem of Souls. So I think this may be close to the GG here. Navi just going to press forward. They are going to be able to get this tier 3 tower in the mid lane. Timbersaw did finish off the Abaddon as well. So Darkseer, the only one left alive, and he's in the jungle right now. So there it is. The GG well playeds come out 11-20 here at the 26-minute mark. Again, this was a match where Fnatic, they're not going to make it into the next round regardless, and I have to give a lot of credit to them for trying something different. The Meepo Troll Warlord, it didn't work, but as I said in the picking phase, this is the time to experiment. Not very often will you have the opportunity to play against Navi in a match that counts where Navi is going all in, trying to win as hard as they can. It's a much different mentality than if you're in a scrim, and even so, teams like Navi, hard to get locked into a scrimmage. So again, it didn't work for Fnatic, but my hat goes off to them for trying something much different here. And although it was a quick game, I did enjoy seeing that bit of Meepo action.
Yeah, it's something I wanted to say, but there was just so much action going on. It's just that Navi played really well against the Meepo pick in general, and especially against the no-tail style of Meepo that relies on abusing that map mobility I was talking about with the Boots of Travel.
Yep.
Basically, by taking all of the map control, if there's no creep waves ever really pushing out, if there's not a lot of towers, if you can't kind of safely be split pushing and abusing that those TPs to put a lot of pressure on, if the Meepo has no avenue to really abuse the poof and the Boots of Travel and the mobility, he's just neutered. I mean, you saw he had almost zero impact on the game. Absolutely right. Again, we said it in the mid-game. Navi had a great lead. The pressure was not on them to be aggressive, but they were the aggressors. And I think to credit exactly what you just said, they shut down Meepo at every turn. They said, hey, let's take map control. Let's prevent No-Tail from taking over this game. And they did just that.